Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Obviously, it's always a special day to welcome a new draft pick to the family. But to Jaylon's family, I wanted to welcome you guys to Cleveland. It'll be a tremendous time for you guys. I want you to really enjoy this process. It only happens once. But just know that your son worked so hard to get here and really elevated his status throughout the process. You know, he came into Cleveland, and I'll let you talk about it a little bit more, but dynamic workout, right? Really left an impression with us, both character-wise, how he performed on the court, and then just gave us a vision on how we can use him in terms of he's going to elevate people around him. You know, that's the mark of a really good player. He's going to help his teammates. You know, it wasn't just scoring. It was offensive rebounding. It was driving kicks. It was getting guys open shots. And it was just a 3-on-3 workout, but it left us with such a tremendous impression and then such a high character individual. And so it became pretty obvious when he got to 20 that we were going to take him. We were very excited for him to be here. So I want this to be his day. Obviously, Mike Gansey spoke to you guys yesterday. Mike Gansey, our general manager, Brandon Weems, our assistant general manager, do such a great job with the draft process. And put us in a position to make this kind of selection. So I know Gansey had some great words about Jaylon yesterday, and so I wanted to open it up for questions for him today. And I know people also want to talk about our new coaching hire. Kenny is here. He made it to town, was it yesterday, from France, and we hope to introduce him to you guys on Monday. And so we can definitely shift gears to that on Monday. But for today, just wanted to welcome Mr. Tyson to town.
Thank you, sir.
All right?
Thank you.
We can open up for questions.
Tom.
Thanks. Hey, Jaylon, Tom Withers, Associated Press. As Kobe said and Mike said last night, you made quite an impression. We also understand your back was kind of locked up when you got here. So how did you kind of grind through that? And was that part of just trying to make a great impression, showing that you can kind of fight through things?
Going into it, like I knew I wasn't going to sit out. There's no way I'm going to sit out. I want to play. I'm a competitor. All I needed, I told him, just put a hot pack on it, make it hot, and I'll be straight. But yeah, I wanted to make a great impression, you know. This is a great organization, a winning organization, you know. So I was going to play, and I wanted to show that I'm a winner.
If I could follow, did you know that you were high on their radar from the start? I know they tracked you most of the season.
I would say so a little bit, you know. But I wanted to make sure it was very clear that I'm a really good basketball player. So that was my goal coming into this for sure.
Dan.
Danny Cunningham, Cleveland Magazine. Jaylon, what was last night like for you emotionally?
1,000 words. A lot of emotions, obviously, I know my journey. I've been through a lot to get here, you know. But it's only the beginning. I look at it, yesterday was yesterday, today is today. Man, it's a lot. I can see the future, you know. I want to build. I want to win a championship. So today is a different day. Yesterday is in the past, so I'm looking forward to it.
And I know while you were at Cal, you had a lot of creation responsibilities offensively. You just said you want to be able to see the future. What do you envision your role as an NBA player being?
I think that's what makes me so special. I could play a lot of roles, and whatever role they see me in, I feel that's what I'm going to thrive in because I'm going to work my tail off on it. But, you know, there's a lot of things I could do, and there's a lot of things I want to learn to do. I want to learn from great players that's in this organization already. So I don't know what that role looks like now, but I'm looking forward to finding out.
Eden Sands, Cleveland.com. Knowing that you had a coach who previously played in the NBA, previously coached in the NBA, Mark Manson, what were the conversations that you guys had to understand how to convert your game from the college scene to the NBA floor?
So when we were going through this, when I first met him, he told me most of the stuff that we're going to run is NBA sets. So a lot of the NBA sets we were running, I kind of know. Like some of the stuff we were doing in 3-on-3s and stuff, I knew what we were doing because of that experience Coach Madsen instilled into me. A lot of a learning curve that I had this year was learning to play point guard, so I had to learn different spots. So I kind of know how to play almost every spot on the court. I don't know how to play the 5, but I know where they're supposed to be. But, you know, I can go on about Coach Madsen for about an hour now. But he's definitely turned me into who I am today. Obviously, I put the work in, but he's helped me get through this process, and I told myself I wasn't gonna cry yesterday, but when I hugged him, I had to cry. I had to. Yeah.
You said before that you compare yourself to guys like Caleb Martin, Josh Hart, guys that do the dirty work and do the things that any team asks of them. For you to come in and have played all those different roles, what do the Cavs and what do the Cavs fans be able to expect from you?
A winner, one, hard worker, and an everyday guy. That's the three things that would describe me. You know, I have a lot of work to do to get to the point where I want to get to, but I'm looking forward to it, and I want to learn from these vets. You know, I want to learn. I'm coming into this opportunity with an open mind. Obviously, my story and my journey has helped me have this open mind and a mature mindset. You know, so I'm just looking forward to just becoming a really good professional basketball player.
Terry Polito, Cleveland Plain Dealer. Jaylon, say a year ago at this time, where did you think your career was?
Where did I think my career was?
Yeah.
And Mark Madsen said, "No, I'm playing."
Because had you transferred to Cal by then at that point, or last summer?
Last summer, I was in the transition of going to Cal. Honestly, I knew I had a breakout year coming. I always thought in the back of my mind I could be an NBA player. I had a lot of confidence in myself, right? I just knew I had to show it, you know. It's the difference between knowing it and showing it, right? So I knew I had to get in the right system with the right coach who really believed in me. And obviously that's why I'm sitting here today, because I made a pretty good decision to go with Coach Madsen.
Yeah, did you have a connection with him or anything, or how did you end up there?
So when I was at Texas Tech, my big man, Fardaws Haymack, he was with Coach Madsen previously at Utah Valley. He was going on and on about him while he was at Texas Tech. Man, I love Madsen, man, this and that. So I kind of had an idea of who he was. I've actually never seen him play. I'm a little bit too young to see him play, sorry. But I've heard a lot of great things about his game, you know. So that was the connection. And then once my big man went, it was kind of like, all right, this is a decision. Like, I've heard great things, and I wanted to go see it for myself. Went on my visit. It was a done deal, going to Cal.
I just want to ask, Kobe, how long have you guys been following him?
Well, it's interesting because, you know, he's had an interesting journey with different colleges along the way. And so it's not like we started the season like that's someone we have to see, right? You know, you certainly have your list in the beginning, but, you know, all of our scouts are in town. And it's kind of sad it's the last year of the Pac-12, but Pac-12 you got to visit. There's a lot of great talent out there. Obviously, we drafted Evan Mobley from there. We have Isaiah Mobley from there. So Pac-12 is something you got to see. And so he put himself on the map this year to where you had to go see him. Like, who is this kid that keeps putting up these numbers and then turning Cal into a winner, right? You know, when Cal's picked to finish bottom of the league, and then they keep winning, and putting themselves in a position to where nationally they're getting that recognition. It made it obvious that we had to go see him, and you know, our guys have seen him a ton in person, obviously on TV. And then I will say this, man, it's never over till it's over, and his draft process really elevated him. I mean, you know, we can watch film, we can scour the numbers, but when someone makes that kind of impression on you in person, especially with how the agents are trying to play this mystery game with us all the time now. He wasn't trying to be a mystery. I'm here. I'm going to compete. I'm going to show you what I got. And that was meaningful to us.
Daryl Ryder, 92.3 The Fan. Jaylon, even though you and the team have come in saying not really sure what your role is going to be, versatile wing is a need for them. So how much does that excite you coming in, and just how do you see yourself fitting in with this group that made the playoffs?
Man, I want to win a championship. Honestly, I want a ring first year. That'll be something a lot of people don't get to say that, you know. So the role piece, like, I just want to be a part of a winning culture. That's what I want to do. Obviously, I want to play, right? But I know that takes time. And obviously, throughout my course, I understand it takes time to be able to do that, right? So just learning how to be a professional, you know. That's the biggest thing I can say right now. I can't tell you what the future looks like because I don't know. This is new to me, right? But I'm looking forward to winning. That's the biggest thing.
And when we talked to Mike Gansey last night, he mentioned multiple times how you checked all the boxes in the evaluation process and that. So as you come into the NBA in this team, what part of your game do you feel that or know that you need to elevate?
I want to be an all defensive player for rookie year. That's my goal. If I do that, now you're talking about every box being checked right there. That's every box, right? That's the biggest thing I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna work my tail off to be able to accomplish that goal. Because when I have goals, I'm looking to set them. I'm not just setting them just to try to find a goal. You know, I'm actually trying to hit these goals. So that's my biggest goal.
Hey, Serena, sideline reporter for the Cavs. I'm just curious, have any of the other players reached out to you, your new teammates, yet? And if so, kind of what the response has been?
I talked to George Niang. He's actually number 20. So I'm switching numbers this year, but he reached out to me about 10 minutes after the draft. First dude to hit me up, and that just meant the world. You know, that means there's love here. You know, it shows a good culture, right? Some teams you won't talk to the vets. You know what I'm saying? They got other things going on, but the fact that he took time out of his day to reach out to me, that meant the world.
And I know you just got here, but what do you know about the Cavs? What do you know about this organization? What have your impressions been of maybe even watching this team last year?
I mean, obviously, I thought they should have made it deeper, but now they got a good addition to help, help in the locker room, you know. But obviously, it's a winning culture, right? Won in 2016, made it second round last year. Last year. We ain't doing that this year. It's not gonna happen. Obviously, we got a lot of movement to do and make sure we get the right pieces, and I trust them with that, right? But I'm looking forward to learning about the state. You know, I've never actually been out here. Don't spend a lot of time out here. I'm a homebody, so this is my home now. So this is where I'm gonna be spending most of my time.
In all of your answers, I mean, you just kind of exude this confidence about you. Where does it come from?
My work and my love, my passion for people, for the game. I really love this. Like, not a lot of people can sit there and look you in your eye and tell you I really love this. Like, whatever happens with my journey, like, I've been through so much, right? A lot of people wouldn't make it to this point, right? But the reason why I keep going is because I love it, like, deep inside. And I'm just looking forward to my future for sure.
Jason Lloyd, The Athletic. Can you just walk through why 3 schools in 3 years?
It's all part of God's plan, in my opinion. You know, there was obviously a lot of questions I had to answer during this process, right? And all I could do was say the truth, right? I had to grow as a man, I had to grow as a human being, grow as a basketball player, right? And I feel like that's what put me in this position today. Those 3 schools that I've been to, I've learned a lot from every single school I've been to, right? And it's going to prepare me for this level that I'm encountering on, right? But I don't look back at it as a negative, and I don't want y'all to look at it as a negative, because I promise you, once you get to know me, I care about everybody. I mean, I don't know y'all yet, but I promise you I care about y'all a little bit, you know? But I'm just excited, you know? I'm glad that God put me through those challenges, and I'm just looking forward to it.
It's also a different landscape now. I mean, it's totally different than when I started. I mean, it's more common now that players have been to multiple schools, if not 3. When look at the second round today, if you really want to do your research, you'll see that most of these guys have been to different schools, and that's just a different landscape. Sometimes it's a business proposition. Sometimes it's a better career move to make that transition to another college. And so, you know, maybe the perspective back in the day was like, oh, he's transferring all the time. It might have been the right decision for your career. And so I think it's way more of the norm now, where you see different, until they find the right fit, find the right coach, find the right role, which is the best for their career. And now he's sitting at 20. So I don't take that as a negative.
Jackson Flickinger, SB Nation. You've talked about your journey. Can you go into specifics of what your journey has been and how it's turned you into the man you are now?
Growing up, I was never the most talented, never the most athletic. Never made middle school, never made 18. Got cut going into my 10th grade year. So I've been through a lot, you know. Basketball's taken me through a journey, but it's been pros and it's been cons of it, right? I've learned a lot, and I've been through the struggle. I've been at the bottom, the lowest of the lows, right? I had to work for everything I've ever gotten, everything, you know. I'm not a generational talent, quote unquote, right? But the one thing I have that nobody else has is the love for the game and the will to win. And I feel like that's the separator for me. And that's due to my journey, right? A lot of people didn't get to go from the bottom to the top, back to the bottom, you know what I'm saying? And I've been through that, so I understand what it's like to be at the top, and I understand what it feels like to be at the bottom. So I honestly think that's why I'm here today.
So I would say this may be like a top moment for you. So how does being on the bottom, as you said, like help you propel forward?
You're not getting lower than that. You ain't getting lower than low. Man, you just gotta understand it's a process. Like I said, being an everyday guy, I learned that's what you gotta do. Like in this business that I'm in, you have to be an everyday guy. You gotta learn from your losses, and you just gotta keep moving on with life, because life is gonna throw obstacles at you. And I've learned that at a young age.
Spencer Davies, Cavs Insider. Jaylon, can you kind of describe your relationship with Al Harrington, and how did you end up kind of connecting with him, and what has he meant to your career so far?
Who's that again?
Al Harrington.
I don't know who that is. No, I'm just playing with you. I'm playing with you. No, man, I'm sorry.
He's supposed to be. He said he was coming. Where is he?
Man, he's like a big brother to me, honestly. He's one of the ones that he's on me 24/7. Obviously, yesterday was a really, really big day for me. I was super nervous. He told me, man, go sit down. Go sit down, man. Go sit down. And obviously, like I said, my back was hurting during the workouts. I called him, I was like, yo, my back's killing me. He's like, so what? What this was me. Get ready for tomorrow. So, I mean, that's what type of dude he is. Obviously, he's been there. He's been through the highs and the lows of the NBA, right? He's been successful at this level. So I learned a lot from him, you know. He just keep picking his brain about what a good career looks like, right? And I just want to take his career and then build on it, you know.
And Kobe, just hearing that he has the endorsement of Al Harrington, and obviously you guys talked to Mark Madsen, just guys who've been through it and know this game. How much did that play a part in this?
Al's great, man. So I grew up idolizing Al Harrington in high school and watching him play way before his time, right? This multifaceted power forward that can play point guard. And so it's still, for me, a thrill to get a call from Al Harrington. And when he's telling me, and it's more not so much the game, but when he's talking about the character piece, like he's been around a lot of different people. He's been in this ecosystem for a long time. And so when Al gives the endorsement, you know, I go back to my high school days. I'm like, I look up to Al. I trust Al. And now Al's going to be in Cleveland a bunch. So you guys will see him around.
Kobe, how does his game fit into like what you're looking at, you know, fitting to